Hello and welcome to the Pixel Street Podcast, episode 67. As always, I'm one of your hosts, Joel Campos, and I'm joined by the man who bought 2 jars of bottled up bathwater from a female streamer, John Hansen.
Yeah, man, that stuff's selling out super fast. You gotta get as much as you can.
Are you the same guy that vaped it? Did you hear about that?
I didn't.
Some dude put it in his vape pen and it's fucking disgusting.
Man.
And other than John, we are also with Connor Kopp. This is the first one all three of us have been on in a while.
Since E3.
It's been a couple weeks. Yeah.
As always, we talk about nerd culture, essentially, and mainly video games. You can find the Pixel Street Podcast on most podcast platforms on Fridays, as well as on YouTube. You can now watch the show directly on our Facebook group by searching for Pixel Street Podcast on the Facebook. We're going to try and do another giveaway on Twitter once we hit around 100 followers. It's kind of a slow burn right now. We haven't really been pushing it that much, so yeah, go follow us at Pixel Street Pod on Twitter. Check out our Facebook, as I said, and send us emails if you have any topics you want us to talk about. Literally anything. We've talked about dogs. We've talked about ad campaigns for Mr. fucking Potato Head. Whatever you want. Just email us at pixelstreetpodcast@gmail.com. This week we are going to be discussing the new Nintendo Switch Lite. It's not called the new Nintendo Switch Lite, but
that would be miserable.
But yeah, we're going to be talking about some Mario Maker 2 and about how many levels have been uploaded in that. New Lord of the Rings MMO is being made, so that'll be interesting considering that there already was a Lord of the Rings MMO that I think is dead now. But I'll look into that a little bit later. And there was a $60,000 Pokemon card that went missing in the mail. Mysterious. But other than that, let's get into the new releases. What do we got coming out this next week, guys?
Man, there's just not a ton, really. Really, the only thing I'm looking forward to is next Friday, Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 comes out.
Ooh, I forgot about that.
Yeah, but besides that, there's just there's a lot of nothing.
Yeah, next Friday is also City Skylines for Switch. I feel like that's a pretty good Switch game to have.
Yeah.
I personally won't be picking it up, but that seems like it would be at home on the Switch.
Oh yeah, for sure. I haven't given it a try anywhere else, but I know there's people that like it.
Yeah, I mean, aside from those couple, it's pretty quiet couple of weeks. I mean, the big one that I'm stoked for is the new Fire Emblem game, Three Houses, but that doesn't even hit till the 26th, so I got a little time on that.
Oh, what about this week's latest release, Dr. Mario World? Aren't you guys playing that nonstop or what?
No, I don't like it.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of it either. It's very, very Candy Crushy in the sense that and I haven't even passed the two, I guess there's I don't know how many levels, 20 levels that's considered the tutorial, I guess, where you have unlimited lives. But I know as soon as I get out of there, it's gonna be oh well, you used your 5 lives for the day. You can either wait 2 hours to get another life, or you can give us your money.
Yeah, pay to keep playing our game. Yeah, no, I was not impressed by it at all. Really, the only thing I liked about it was the music, because, I mean, it's just Dr. Mario music.
Yeah, I agree. The music was great.
I was going into it with some decently high hopes, but I immediately was disappointed and uninstalled it.
You see, if Nintendo was smart, they would just start releasing old NES games for iPhone, you know? Release the what is it, the Nintendo Switch Online services, you know how they have Dr. Mario on there? Just release that same exact game, but on phones, and it'll sell like crazy.
Yeah, but that'd be too smart.
It would be way too smart.
We're talking about Nintendo here, who really still doesn't understand the internet. We can't really expect them to expect smartphones as well.
Well, and then wasn't there a quote this week where somebody at Nintendo said that they don't feel that Nintendo's online services are behind the times?
Oh boy.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, I think that came from the most recent board meeting. Some of the investors were questioning them on their tactics and current positioning, and they said that they feel like they're not behind in the services department, and that VR and subscription services are still such a long way off. There's no reason for them to get into that game.
Nintendo.
Yeah, it's classic Nintendo. They do what they do very well, but for new things that come to market, they are always some of the last adopters to jump on the bandwagons of these things. Granted, most of their initiatives lately have been great, but yeah, we'll see.
I have actually the quote here. Matt, sorry, we're getting kind of into news, but Matt Perslow from IGN wrote, during a question and answer session as part of Nintendo's annual general meeting of shareholders, Nintendo was asked about the impression that it has been a little slow to join global trends such as cloud computing, mobile, and VR. Miyamoto responded, "We have not fallen behind with either VR or network services. We worked on them from the very beginning and have been experimenting with them in a variety of ways." Like, what? How do you not think that you're behind in network services?
I mean, they're not behind in VR. I mean, they released the Labo VR earlier this year, so they're right up there with everyone.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
The most budget VR rig home console has had to date.
And are there any other cardboard VRs on the market besides all of the smartphone ones?
Google Cardboard is literally named Cardboard.
All right, well, let's move on because we can talk about this literally all night. Connor, why don't you go through the free games with gold for the month?
Sure, can do. So from the 1st to the 31st of this month, you can pick up Inside. That one, if you remember, was pretty popular when that guy dropped.
So
didn't get a
good.
chance to pick him up, but the art style is fantastic, so definitely want to be on the lookout for. And then from all the way until July 15th, you still have your chance to pick up Rivals of Aether. July 16th to August 15th, you can grab yourself Big Crown Showdown. And then finally, you can pick up Castlevania Symphony of the Night on Xbox One. It's a 360 title that's backwards compatible, available from July 1st to July 15th. So a pretty short window on Castlevania. That's definitely a good pickup with Bloodstained kind of bringing that style of gaming to the forefront again. But yeah, that's your free games.
Yeah, me and John were actually talking a few weeks back, maybe a few months ago now. He was telling me I have to play Inside, and I remember I said something along the lines of I'll wait until it's a Game Pass or a free game on PlayStation or something. But yeah, I'm glad it's free now. I'll definitely have to give it a shot.
It's such a good game. I think it came out in 2016, I would guess. The whatever year it did come out, it was one of the best games of that year. And if you ever played Limbo, it's the same guys that made that, and it is just excellent. I absolutely love it.
Well, I have to say, one of the driving forces getting me to play it is the fact that they have that. What is it called? I can't remember. It's made by some like sex toy company, like some super limited edition coming out. It's supposed to be this year or next year. I can't remember.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
But the fact that they're doing that just makes me so curious as to what it even is. Because people don't even know what it is really.
Yeah, that was announced like a year ago, and we have no idea what it is still.
But people who have played the game said that you probably have a pretty good idea based on something in the. I can't remember.
I think so as well. It's a spoiler, so you just have to play through it.
Yeah, that's kind of why I'm just curious at this point. But yeah, that game came out June 29, 2016, so just over 3 years ago. But here, so Inside developer Playdead teams up with Sex Doll Maker for $375 collector's edition. So yeah, people pretty much just pre-ordered that. I know like IGN pre-ordered one just so that because that'll probably be a great unboxing video.
Yeah, Ryan McCaffrey did that. I don't have that money to throw around, but I would have considered it.
So this is a interesting fact. The item will ship worldwide and is expected to arrive during the first quarter of 2019. So that must have been delayed, right?
It might have been. I haven't heard any news on it since it was announced.
What if they're just hoping that everybody that pre-ordered it forgets?
Yeah. Yeah, that seems like a good business move.
Yeah, that's the inside joke.
Yeah, why don't they just ask Bethesda how the people feel when they feel cheapened out on what they paid for?
Ouch.
All right, moving on. What new games do we have for Game Pass?
John, you want to take that one?
Yeah, sure, I'll take it. So, what? Okay, we're on the 10th right now. Recently, Middle-earth: Shadow of War, My Time at Portia, and Undertale have hit Game Pass. Undertale is only for PC. The other ones are for both console and PC. Played a little bit of My Time at Portia. Pretty good game. If you like Stardew Valley or Harvest Moon, definitely give that a try. Coming out tomorrow, the day that we are recording this, so July 11th, Blazing Chrome, Dead Rising 4, Lego City Undercover, Time Spinner, and Unavowed. So out of those, I've only played Dead Rising 4. It's definitely probably the most disappointing Dead Rising game, but it's still a decent game to play. I can't say I've played any of the other ones, though.
I'm excited that Dead Rising 4 is coming because I played every other Dead Rising game except for 4. So
Yeah.
I'll probably try it out.
It's a game. It exists.
Most games do exist. You're
Yeah,
not wrong.
but that's the thing. That's all it does. I mean, it doesn't differentiate itself from any of the other games. It doesn't do anything better than really any zombie game. It's just there.
It definitely was a lackluster entry into the franchise. I mean, certainly worth playing for free if you have Game Pass, but yeah, you're not wrong there.
Yeah. Before we move on, though, I should also mention these are the games leaving Game Pass this month. Aftercharge and Warhammer Vermintide 2 are already gone. On July 16th, the Lego Movie video game is leaving. On the 31st, we have Dandara, Dead Rising 2, and Hitman Season 1 leaving. And if you haven't played Hitman Season 1, that's a pretty good game. Definitely give it a try. Oh, and also Metal Slug XX and Defense Grid The Awakening, Hexic 2, and Iron Brigade.
That's weird. We got a new Dead Rising game joining and then an old one leaving.
Yeah.
I don't know why they would do that, but all right.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Like, one thing I did notice last month, so I was playing Dead Island. I was like, okay, I'll go back and play this on Game Pass. And so with that, when they brought it to Xbox One and PS4, they remastered both games, just Dead Island and Riptide, and released it as a 2-pack. This last month, whenever Dead Island left Game Pass, they didn't take Riptide off. So half of that collection is still there.
Yeah, that's odd.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. I wonder who makes those decisions. You know what I mean? Is it like Microsoft seeing that people aren't playing one? You know what I mean? Like out of those two games, is Microsoft seeing like, oh, everybody's only playing Riptide, so why pay this company for having the original Dead Island on here?
I don't know this for sure. This is just my guess, but I would assume that this is just dates that they already have planned out when they first make the agreement to say, hey, bring your game to Game Pass during this amount of time. We will give you X amount of money for the people that download it and give it a try. And then you hit that cutoff line and they're like, okay, thank you for your service. Go back out there and try and sell copies.
Yeah, or come back to us if you want to put your game back up.
Yeah. I got to figure it's got something to do with that. Also, probably the discount you get on all the games that are in Game Pass probably don't hurt as well.
Yeah, true. All right, moving on. The PlayStation Plus games for July for PS4. You have Detroit, the deluxe edition, or Detroit Become Human. I think it's the deluxe edition of that game, which comes with Heavy Rain, I think it's called.
Yes.
I've never played it. And then you also have Horizon Chase Turbo. So, yeah. Pretty good month, especially because Detroit just came out fairly recently.
A year ago.
Yeah.
Came out last May. It's decent.
Still more recently than most, these free games.
It's definitely better now since they changed that, because originally it was going to be a soccer game.
Yeah, I wouldn't have even downloaded that.
Yeah, so we don't know, at least I don't know the reason, but I don't think there was ever a reason given why they changed it.
Well, fun fact though, I think there was an article today where who makes PES? Is it Konami?
Yes.
Yeah.
There was an article today. Hold on, I'm looking. Okay.
That they made it into a pachinko machine.
No. Konami says last minute PS Plus change was Sony's decision. Then there's a quote in here. Where is it? I cannot really tell you what happened because I just found out today. In the morning when I opened my laptop, I can't really explain. So Konami found out the day, like the same time we did, essentially, that PES was not going to be the PS Plus game. So I don't understand how the fuck these deals are made anymore.
Yeah, you got to figure that they're... I mean, Detroit Become Human... I don't know, because Sony doesn't own that license.
Yeah, I know, but like that's what's weird to me.
Yeah.
Is like such a last-minute decision. I wonder if it's because they were getting backlash because not enough people wanted that soccer game, and then they decided to pull a switcheroo. But either way, man, like I don't understand how these deals are made.
Do you do that to another company though? I mean, that's
that's what's messed up about the whole thing.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, if you're gonna do
really
it to anybody,
weird.
you might as well just do it to Konami.
I mean, yeah, they are pretty useless as a video game company anymore. Anyway.
But still, like the fact that Konami didn't even know, you know what I mean? Like Konami, like you don't know Konami's situation. What if they're like, okay, PES is being given out for free. Maybe we need to put more resources towards like the online servers right now because they're going to be jam-packed for a week or something. Like you don't know their situation. What if that?
I also think you are giving them way too much credit.
Yeah, if I had to guess, PES 2019 I think is the next one, or 2020 or whatever, is just around the corner from my understanding. So I wouldn't be surprised if this was actually a reverse deal of the usual, where Konami had agreed to pay so much money to feature it as a free game for those subscribers to hopefully boost sales of the next gen. Because I've seen PES, the current one, selling for $5, $10, brand new in some cases during sales. So it could be a reverse deal, and they could have just decided that it wasn't value that they wanted on their subscription service and went from there.
Yeah, maybe there just hadn't been a deal made in writing or anything, so they could have just easily backed out of it.
Right.
All I know is I can't wait to read Jason Schreier's story about this.
Yeah. All right, moving on. Twitch Prime for July, we have Aegis Defender, Stick Bold, and 10 Second Ninja X, Metronomicon, and
Nailed it.
We will continue beating you in the face until you listen to us. You can get free 12 months of Nintendo Online with your Twitch Prime account until September 24th.
And that date's coming in hot, man. You know, it was far in the future when we first started saying it. Now it's like slowly getting closer.
Yeah, we've been saying it for 3 months, 4 months almost. Damn.
Man, when that comes around, I don't know what the hell we're going to talk about anymore.
We'll just cancel the podcast.
Yeah, that's when we'll have to make a new podcast.
Yeah, the Twitch Prime Street podcast. Nailed it.
Twitch Prime Street Post podcast. Yeah, sure. Let's go with
Got it. Nailed it.
You can find us on all platforms that are not Twitch.
Or Spotify.
Yep. All right, let's get into some of the games we've been playing. This podcast is all over the place right now. We've been talking about a lot of news in the middle here, but let's start with Connor. Connor, what have you been playing?
Sure. So I have been playing more Destiny 2 because I can't stop myself. They've been dropping a lot of new content with that, and I'm happy to report it's good. They've been added some great things to it. Season of Opulence is still ongoing, so still got plenty of chances to earn not enough Imperials for all of the things that you do, which is wildly frustrating. Menagerie is still live, but recently, over the past week or two, they've added a few new exotic quests, and then this week, actually, they dropped some new stuff as well. So you have a Triumph Hall, where it's kind of a new bounty zone, and it's your own personal area where you fly in, You basically talk to a statue, and that statue gives you quests. You do the quest, you get boons. Those boons can be turned in for discounts, which is very strange. You use those discounts because they are very, very important. Essentially, what the Triumph Hall is you want to gather statues, and it's basically a record of your Destiny existence. So it'll have different enemies and stuff as statues, different symbols like sparrows and ghosts and all that. But the reason you want to do any of this is because at 15 of the 50 that you can unlock, you actually unlock the quest for the new Bad Juju. Bad Juju is a returning pulse rifle exotic from the first game. So people are on the hunt for that, as well as Lumina, which is kind of the antithesis of Thorn. That just hit not too long ago as well. So tons and tons of Destiny to be played. However, their latest patch broke a ton of stuff, so I think I might be taking a little time off and waiting till they fix it.
Cool. I have no idea what any of that means. So, awesome.
The real question, John, is, do you care?
No. You lost me.
Yeah, I really haven't had time to play many games the past few weeks because I'm currently packing my apartment to move. But I do want to get really back into Destiny. I haven't played it in over a week now, but I know we've been talking about how we should play together soon, so we should for sure do that.
Absolutely. There's a ton going on
because
now,
I also don't really know what you're talking about, but I did hear the word Bad Juju, and I'm a big fan.
Heck yeah. It's back, and it's better than ever.
So yeah, let's get on that sometime in the next week. All right, John.
Into it.
What have you been playing that is not Destiny 2?
I've been playing more Apex Season 2. Me and Connor streamed it for a bit last Saturday, I want to say, and I expect us to be streaming it some more here in the future. Pretty much everything me and Connor said about it last week sticks up. It's still a fun game. I just don't know what to say about it anymore. It's just a battle royale game that's fun to play with friends. I still don't think I would ever play it alone, just because I don't think battle royales are that fun alone. But hey, I'm enjoying my time with it. Definitely glad that I bought the battle pass this season, because I'm getting quite a few challenges done and earning some stuff. That's about it.
Yeah, I agree. I think that part of the reason why I haven't played Apex since like the first month it came out is that all of my friends stopped playing it, essentially. It's like all of my main group of friends stopped, so I just have zero interest to play. Because like you said, I don't like playing those games alone either. I think if I were to play any of them alone, it would be PUBG, and that's just because of how terrifying that game makes me.
Yeah, it's I definitely wouldn't be playing it if our group of friends wasn't already playing it. I probably wouldn't have even given it a shot, but hey, I'm also getting really close to having all the achievements in the game. I just have to reach level 50 and I'll have them all, so there's that.
Right on. Yeah, I'll have to hop on next time I see you on and you have an open spot or something, because that's a game I did really enjoy. Like, I love how it's kind of like Overwatchy in a sense.
That is also something that all three of us could just stream sometime.
Yeah, I know you guys streamed the other day, but I was busy.
Mm-hmm. Too busy for us.
He's lying. He just doesn't want to play with us.
I know.
He's too busy hanging out.
I was literally...
You think I'm going to hang out with these Apex nerds? I'm going to go play Destiny.
I was literally in Indianapolis when you guys texted me.
Yeah.
That's what they call PUBG now? Is that a new map in there?
Yeah.
Moving on. I've been playing Mario Maker 2, and I really enjoy it. I have not played any of the story mode, surprisingly. I've only been playing random like maps I find online. But yeah, I've been enjoying it. The ones that are so hard, it pisses me off so much. Like,
yeah,
because like what I've been doing is like progressively been like getting to more and more difficult ones. So when I started, I was looking for like levels that said like, because before you like download or click play on a level that you find online, it lets you see what the completion percentage is. So like when I first started, I was looking for like 70% plus, completion percentage. And then just as I go, I try and get harder and harder ones. And there are some that's like 0.05, like or 0.5, percent of people have completed this out of like thousands. I don't even try that because it's like I'm never gonna be able to do that.
Yeah, it's a bit ridiculous at times, but once you find the good maps in there that suit towards what you're looking for, oh, that game is just so good.
Yeah, I do want to hop into the story a bit because I heard some good things about it.
Oh yeah, so this was going to be one of the games I talked about this week, but the story mode's really good. I spent about 4 hours yesterday playing it, and it's just a lot of fun. The building Peach's castle thing is just kind of a secondary thing.
Yeah, that's the one thing I heard is that it's not as great, that portion of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's literally go play these random levels that Nintendo made, so they're all good, and then take the coins that you earned from those matches and put them towards this castle. And really, I mean, it's just a reason to go to different levels, which is awesome. I mean, I was talking about it last week, I mean, it's just so cool jumping from Super Mario Brothers 1 to 3 to Super Mario World to New Super Mario Brothers to Super Mario 3D World. I mean, it's insane. You go from like desert to ice to underground to a castle. Like, it's just all over the place, and I absolutely love it. I've been playing a ton of it. Have you tried the cooperative or competitive online yet?
I tried the competitive online, and it was laggy as shit.
It's awful.
And
yeah,
then there was a like laggy to the point to where it's like there's an obstacle. One of the I've only tried it 2 or 3 times, but one of the levels we were on at the beginning there was an obstacle like right to begin, and like there were only enough blocks for one person to get there, and then somebody like accidentally destroyed the rest of the blocks, so we were all just stuck standing there lagging around a bunch until this other dude finished, and it took him like way longer than it probably should have. I don't know what that guy was doing, but yeah, it was very annoying.
Yeah, no, the competitive and cooperative, Nintendo just cannot figure out online gameplay. I don't know what it is.
Super Smash, but Miyamoto says they're not behind, so we're all good.
Super Smash Brothers has gotten better as time went on, so I'm kind of hoping that happens here, but I'm not too hopeful. But regardless, just downloading and playing other people's worlds is amazing. It's a lot of fun. There's a ton of stuff in there. If you are a creative person, I'm not. I probably won't even ever attempt to make my own level.
I mean, you got to try it at least once. Like even if it's like to make something simple. I think it's cool to see like all the mechanics that can go into it.
Yeah, there's just a ton of stuff there, and I really think it's one of the best games to release this year.
Yeah, I agree. It's a pretty good game. I'm enjoying it. Connor, your second game you've been playing.
Sure. So the other one that I've been playing recently is Wargroove,
aka Destiny Lite.
Switch. You're dead wrong, but it's okay. No, I've been playing Wargroove a little bit. It was something that I was playing quite some time ago, and then just other games kind of popped up, and I was checking some other stuff out. So just felt the itch to get some tactics gameplay back in, especially with the new Fire Emblem coming up. I'm very excited about that, so I wanted to scratch that itch a bit and jump back into here. It's also the first time that I've picked up my Switch in probably 2 months to pick this game back up and check it out. It's just been sitting there collecting dust, which feels real bad. But now I'm back into it. I'm playing some Wargroove. It's if you recall, we talked about it a few weeks ago, probably a few months ago now on the podcast. It is very Advance Wars-ish in that there are generals, there are different types of units that have different crit paths and movement abilities and so on and so forth. You're kind of moving through and clearing a map and fighting against enemy forces with different wind conditions, and I'm having a blast with it. It's very, very good. If you're into that style of game, I definitely cannot recommend it enough. There have been a few updates recently too that kind of improved overall stability and performance for the game, and the hand-drawn art style is just fantastic.
Is the hand-drawn art style better than Cuphead?
No, because that's sadistic levels of hand-drawn art styles.
But that's not taking anything away from it. It looks brilliant.
Yeah. Have you been playing it, John? Did you give it a shot?
I did give it a shot about a month ago. It came on Game Pass, and I started playing it. I haven't played much since then, but I'm not really a guy that's into that kind of game. But it's a very well-made game, and even if you haven't really been a big, what do you call it, an RTS? I don't know. Just a strategy game.
Tactics RPG.
Yeah, if you're not really into that kind of game, just give it a try, especially if you have Xbox Game Pass. It's on there. It's a very well-made game, and I think there's a lot of value there for anyone that wants to give it a try.
Certainly.
All right, John, what's your second game?
All right, so about a month ago, me, Connor, and our group of friends started playing Dead by Daylight because it hit Game Pass, and oh my god, that game is a lot of fun.
Yo, it's terrifyingly fun, though.
Oh, it's so
much fun.
Good. So, I originally gave it a try a couple of years ago. I worked at Disc Replay and borrowed it, but I was playing alone, and I didn't really get into it. Playing with your friends is the absolute best way to play this game. We would have it's a 4v1 game. You have one killer, 4 survivors. The survivors are trying to repair generators and escape the killer before he kills them all. And it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of famous killers in there. You have your Michael Myers, you have your Ghostface from Scream. I can't even think of others at the moment.
Yo,
but there's
the Freddy Krueger one is super
Freddy Krueger.
OP.
That's it.
So
yeah.
OP.
They have Ash from Ash vs. the Evil Dead as a survivor.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah. They've got a guy from Saw that's a survivor in there. There's a lot of cool stuff in there, and I think it's a brilliantly made game. Our group of friends hasn't really played it much. I've just been continuously playing alone really lately, but it's I'm still, now that I actually understand it and know what I'm doing, I'm having a great time playing it. Yeah, I don't really see it ending anytime soon. It's just really addicting, and once Halloween really kicks off here, I think I'm gonna get into it even more.
Oh, I'm down to hop on that bandwagon with you. This will be a great game for us to stream or even co-stream.
For sure, let's do it.
Yeah, I'll definitely give it a go again. The other game that I've been playing, which is kind of weird, is Gears of War Judgment. I got about halfway through the campaign last night, playing with an old Halo 2 buddy of mine. So when I said I was in Indianapolis, I was there visiting a friend that I met on Halo 2, like back in 2004 or 5. So like we've been keeping in touch ever since. Like we see each other once every 2 years or so. But yeah, so I drove down to Indianapolis to hang out with him for the weekend because he was having some party. And we were talking about how we got to play through all the Gears games before Gears 5 comes out this fall. So we decided to start last night, and I gotta say, Gears of War Judgment sucks. It is so bad. Like, the story is just, like, way too quick. Like, you know how in all the other Gears games, there are cutscenes that, have, like, some length to them, and you kind of know what's happening. But in this game, it just seems like I'm playing an arcadey version of Gears of War. Because every level in Judgment starts with you're in front of this wall with a giant, the Gears logo, the cog with the skull in it, and you can either walk right past it or you can go up to it and make a mini game out of the level you're doing, out of the chapter, I guess it is, the chapter within the act, and it just like I get why they did it, but like that should be something that's determined in the lobby, not something that's determined in game, if that makes any sense. Kind of like the way Halo does it, how you can turn on score in the lobby, but you can't like activate it mid-game by walking up to a fucking tree. I don't know.
Weird.
It's like the story is fine, I guess, but it just, I don't know. It's really fast-paced compared to what I'm used to with other Gears games. Mm-hmm. The graphics, like, while you could tell they're kind of like granular because I think it came out in 2013. It still holds up pretty well. It's not like going back to play Gears 1. I feel like that probably doesn't age well.
I'm sure they've also put some work into it with it being backwards compatible.
Yeah, like some sort of X enhancement, I'm sure.
Yeah, probably. Can't say I've ever played this one. I've never been a huge Gears fan. I played through the first two. I have 3 downloaded, but I haven't started it. It's been there for like years. I don't know. I think Judgment is. Oh, I always hear it being the lesser of all the Gears entries. So it doesn't really surprise me to hear you say that you don't like it.
Yeah, and like I'm a pretty big Gears fan, and I never even played Judgment. That's the only one I didn't buy when it came out. I didn't care to play the story at all, just because I think I remember hearing everybody say about how it has nothing to do with the story of the game, like the main story of the game. That is, it takes place before Gears of War 1, and it takes place with like some of the side characters. It's not even Marcus Phoenix's story. So,
who made it?
Who made it? That is a good question.
Was it the Coalition's first game, or was it still when Epic had it?
That is a good question.
I seem to remember it being a side studio.
Epic. It's Epic. The developers were Epic Games and People Can Fly. The designer was Cliffy B.
Huh.
Yeah, I seem to remember it being some kind of like B studio or something. I did a replay on all the Gears games shortly after Gears 4 released, and I hadn't played Judgment previously up until then, and I just remember it feeling and playing like garbage the entire time.
Yeah,
that was one of the most astounding things to me, is that the other games played very smooth, very tight, all the way back to Gears 1, but Judgment just felt off the whole time.
Yeah, it's definitely a little rigid, and they changed the controls, which is weird because in your typical Gears game you use the D-pad to switch your weapons, but in this one you hit Y to switch between your main and your primary and secondary weapon, and then you have to hold LB, I think it is, to throw a grenade, which is really, it makes no, because I remember when I started playing I was like, is my controller messed up? Like, do I have the wrong button scheme set up? And then my buddy's like, no, this is the game that they messed everything up for some reason. Probably trying to make it more like Halo-y, I guess you could say, or Call of Duty, like where you can just hit Y to switch your weapon and stuff. But I did look up People Can Fly, the company that made it, and they were known for a long time as Epic Games Poland.
Okay.
So that's probably why you remember like a side company doing it.
All right. Those guys also, they are the ones that showed off they showed off a new game at the Square Enix conference at E3. Oh crap, I can't remember what it was called. It was like one of the last announcements right before Avengers.
Huh. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Give me a second, I'll look it up. But it had the
Outriders.
Yes, that's it. Yeah, they're the ones making that game that we still really have no idea what it's going to be, but it seemed to be pretty gritty, and they talked about, I don't even remember what they talked about. It's the one that they had the developers like actually talking in front of a camera for a little bit, and you could see them working on it in the background, and you're like, okay, this is a waste of time. Show me something with the game.
Yeah. Well, I think we're talking way too much about a game that came out literally 6 years ago. So let's move on to the news. John, what's the biggest news of the week?
I was trying to think of something smart, but I couldn't. The Nintendo Switch Lite has been announced, and it will release on September 20th. This is by Brian Ashcraft of Kotaku. The Nintendo Switch Lite is a smaller handheld-only portable that will be released this fall. It is being described as a Nintendo Switch for those who just want to play on the go. The Lite will come in 3 colors, yellow, gray, and turquoise. Priced at $200, the Switch Lite is cheaper than the standard issue Switch, which is normally $300. It is also a slightly smaller piece of hardware compared to the regular Switch. The Switch that we have now measures 4 inches high and 9.4 inches long. The Switch Lite is 3.6 inches high and 8.2 inches long. The Lite's touchscreen is also slightly smaller. The Lite, however, does have a longer battery life and a D-pad instead of directional buttons. What do you guys think of this announcement?
It's not for
Joel.
It's not for me. Personally, I understand why they're making it, and I think it's because the 2DS was such a success for people looking for a cheap version of the 3DS for their kids, you know. But I don't know. It's personally not for me because I like being able to plug my Switch into the TV and play it portably, which is, in my opinion, most of the appeal of having a Switch. But yeah, I think the colors are really cool.
Yeah, there is also a special Pokemon edition that was announced. It's like all white, and then on the back it's got the new legendaries.
And the left side buttons are blue or turquoise, and the right side are like blue or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
Pink, I mean. But yeah, that one looks cool. Like, if I was gonna get one, that would be the one I end up getting. Also, I think $200 is a little too much for this.
Yeah,
for the amount of features that you lose just for $100, I don't think it's worth it. Like, if this was $150, I would consider maybe getting a second one for my girlfriend.
That's the price I would have given. Yeah, $150 would have been the sweet spot. But at least it's not a thing like with the Xbox One SAD, where it was only $50 cheaper.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. Connor, what do you think?
So personally, I love this. I think this is fantastic. I'll play devil's advocate here a little bit. I think there is a huge crowd for this. Being somebody that works in the retail business that sells this stuff day in and day out, this is something that kind of fits a niche in the market that hadn't really been touched before. I mean, obviously the Switch is something that is available currently in its current form, but a lot of people didn't want to shell out that much money for something that's effectively a glorified handheld and portable. And I say this as somebody who loves the Switch. This almost has me convinced to go ahead and buy it. I actually do not play my Switch on the television at all. I never hook it up. There's just no point for me. I'm always playing it handheld. And so for me, I mean, this is great. It's lighter. It's going to have a better battery life because you lose things like HD rumble, as well as the IR sensor. There are certainly some drawbacks and some things that I am kind of concerned about, such as one of my favorite things about the Switch currently is just using the dock as a charger. Forget even hooking it up to a TV or anything, but just the ease of being able to drop it on the dock and know that it's charging without having to plug in a cable and lay it awkwardly on a table or something is super awesome. And so losing out on that is a real big bummer. But I mean, battery life and stuff is a huge plus. It is almost 1/5 lighter than the current Switch, which is awesome. It does bring up some compatibility questions, such as, they claim that some games that don't work in handheld mode won't work on it. And really the only one that I can think of right now that's like that is 1-2 Switch.
Also Super Mario Party.
Is Mario Party only on the television?
Or it's not, but you can only use one Joy-Con.
Oh, you're right. So that probably would present an issue as well. Mm-hmm. I know they did say that it still will have the Bluetooth capability so that you can hook up controllers wirelessly. I don't really see why you would need to with something like this, or more why you would with something like this. Mm-hmm. Is there just doesn't seem to be a good use case for that. But I think it's good. The biggest concerns for me is that not having detachable Joy-Cons means these buttons and these joysticks specifically need to be more durable. They need to be a better material, because I see Switch Joy-Cons come back all the time.
Oh yeah, all the time.
They just wear out nonstop. So that's a big concern there. But they're adding a D-pad, and I will say that these Joy-Cons, at least the joysticks specifically, do look a little bit nicer and a little bit more durable. So but that's the trade-off there, 200's a steal. I love it.
One of my concerns is that all the buttons are white, because how long until shit starts turning brown and gross?
Yeah.
And especially, like, I feel like one of the markets for this are kids, because, like, you see it in the trailer for the product. Like, they're showing a lot of kids playing these things.
Yeah.
And so, like, kids are sticky and gross. I mean,
Right.
John probably knows this firsthand. Kids are fucking gross. And
the answer to that is stop eating fucking Cheetos when you're playing your Switch.
No, I won't.
I'm gonna eat fucking flaming hot Cheetos while I play my Switch, and there's
Yeah.
nothing you can do about it because guess what? I'm gonna be able to go to the store and buy new ones. Damn it!
My Switch was hungry too.
Then you just have a custom colored Switch. That's all.
Yeah. No, going on to what I think about this. I'm looking at the specs here. Connor mentioned how it's a little bit lighter. The screen is a little bit shorter. You're only gaining about a half hour more battery out of this. So
that's what they're rating it at. Yes.
Yeah, they're saying approximately about a half hour more. That doesn't really feel like much to me. But I'm also in the camp where I think that the 3 hours that you're approximately getting by playing Breath of the Wild on the normal Switch is just fine. I think that is plenty of time. But I would have wanted more battery life out of something like this. I will say I really hope that going forward Nintendo starts making regular Joy-Cons with the D-pad on the left now. Since they're putting that in this new model. Like, that's just something that has to happen now, especially since they're showing that they can do it. A third-party company did it a while ago, but that D-pad, or not the D-pad, but the Joy-Con itself is not great. It doesn't have the HD rumble. It doesn't support a lot of things. I want a Nintendo-made left Joy-Con that has an actual D-pad on it, and I will buy it really fast. I'm okay with this. It is half the price of the regular Nintendo Switch, and I mean, you still get to play the Switch. And while I don't think that there's much improvement on the size and the battery, it's still something for people that want it. Personally, I don't see myself buying one of these. I bought my own Switch. I bought my daughter a Switch. I don't plan on getting her this because she has her own, and she takes really good care of it. She's responsible enough to handle the Switch she has now, so I think where I'm sitting at, I'm fine without it, but we'll see. Maybe we'll get like some kind of new update or something for the current Switch that will make me jump to that, but as of right now, I'm fine with what I have.
Yeah, speaking to that, there is something I did want to kind of add as an anecdote to the end of this, but I kind of snuck under the radar with the Switch Lite news, but Nintendo has actually filed a few new patents, or rather updates to patents with the FCC, and those are currently 3 different things. This is all very heavy legal speak, so forgive me as I translate this. It is 3 different points that they've changed on the original model, and that is the change in the NAND memory type, which is just the onboard flash storage, change into what boils down to the CPU type, and the CPU board will be changed a little bit too. So the last one is just mumbo jumbo, for they had to kind of move things around to get it all to fit in there. But the first 2 are pretty interesting. This could mean that we see the Switch get almost a refresh, or even just a quiet refresh with larger memory type, maybe a little bit more powerful CPU that gives us a little bit more performance or something. So I'm not surprised to see this news, considering we're a few years out from the original launch of the Switch, and mid-cycle refreshes are pretty normal at this point. But this does kind of question the veritability of a Switch Pro in the future. If they're going to the lengths of updating this current one, granted these aren't huge changes, or at least don't seem to be huge changes, are we going to get something like a Switch Pro, or are we just going to stick with these 2 models for the time being? It'd be interesting to see how this shakes out.
Personally, I don't think we ever get a Switch Pro. I don't think that happens. I think, if anything, we just get a new Nintendo Switch, kind of like the new Nintendo 3DS. Very small updates to the power of it and everything.
Yeah, I think, when people are considering a Switch Pro, I'm just picturing, like, when I refer to a Switch Pro, I'm just picturing a new Switch, maybe with a bigger screen, something along those lines. I'm not picturing, like, 4K 1080, something. Mm-hmm. I'm not picturing anything ridiculous.
Yeah, it won't be a giant leap. It'll just be a small step.
All right, that rounds out our Nintendo Switch Lite topic. Moving on. I'm actually going to take this weird Pokemon card one. Luke Plunkett from Kotaku writes, $60,000 Pokemon card goes missing in the mail. In August 2018, someone on eBay paid $60,000 for a very rare Pokemon card. It's now almost a year later, and the card still has not arrived, and nobody knows where it's gone to. YouTuber and Pokemon card collector SM Prat has the story via CNET, as he claims to know both the buyer and the seller personally. What appears to have happened, SM Prat says, is that having sold the card for $60,000 last year to someone outside the U.S., the seller posted it domestically, after which the card was forwarded to the Global Shipping Program Center in New York City. The card was signed for, valued at $50,000 for insurance purposes, the highest figure possible, and was supposed to then be sent on its way. However, that's where the card's journey ends, as no further tracking was ever noted, and no trace of it has turned up since. This is fucking insane.
Right?
Like, the fact that a Pokemon card is worth that much in general is crazy in itself. But the fact that somebody out there, like, realized, like, damn, this is worth a lot of money for this little thing. I could probably just take this right now. Like, it's probably somebody within the mailing system probably has it, and now they're like, if they never see this, they're going to try and sell it and get caught immediately. Because both the seller and buyer, as part of this deal, have been looking probably every day to find one of these cards for sale to, like, either report it to police or what have you. But yeah, I don't really know any information on the card. The card in question is a Trainer number 3, one of the rarest in existence, which was given out to third place finishers at the Secret Super Battle in Japan in 1999. So yeah, I mean, it doesn't say exactly how many of them there are in the world, but yeah, this is wild.
I'm looking at it right now. It's a super basic one. It's a super basic card.
Yeah, it's just like one of the OG trainer cards, essentially.
Yeah. Huh.
Yeah, I don't know how much you guys are into the trading card market, but this kind of valuation on these old school promo cards isn't necessarily crazy. These things are so incredibly rare and so worth it to collectors that they will pay stupid amounts for this. In fact, a little further down in the story, it mentions that the buyer is offering a $1,000 reward for information on this card. So this is something that collectors care very much about, and it's a piece of Pokemon history at this point. Back in 1999, the scene was blowing up, and Pokemon was absolutely huge. A lot of people don't really care about this stuff, but certainly heartbreaking for the seller and the buyer. Hopefully something gets figured out on this, and if it ends up in your mail, keep it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, just don't tell anybody. Just make sure everybody knows not to sell it for like 50 years.
Yeah.
When this finally blows over.
That $1,000 reward, though, that's not enough. I mean, this is a $60,000 card. Like, come on, that's pocket change to you.
Man, John's into some real extortion here.
Yeah, you know what? We're asking for more here. Maybe I have it in my back pocket right now.
Also, imagine this accidentally got sent to the wrong address. And, like, imagine your next door neighbor opens is like, this is just a fucking Pokemon card. And
they wrote a 9 on the address instead of a 6.
Yeah, just throws it in the trash. Okay. All right. Connor, you want to choose one of these lovely articles?
Absolutely. So, kind of circling back to some of the news that we talked about a little bit ago, something that came up during it, Cuphead. Cuphead, as you may remember, is a painstakingly difficult,
amazing game,
hand-drawn, side-scrolling, throwback to classic. What would you call it? A Contra-esque, just all-around fantastic video game with some of the best art to ever have existed ever. Is actually coming to Netflix now. Netflix actually announced a collaboration with Studio MDHR to produce the Cuphead show. I don't think a date was given on this, but it's going to be inspired from the game's 1930s cartoon style and will feature Cuphead and his brother Mugman as they go on adventures in Inkwell Isles. That's kind of going hand in hand with the fact that their DLC recently got pushed back, Delicious Last Course, to 2020. So I would imagine DLC. Maybe we'll catch both next year, with them not talking about dates or anything. I don't know about you guys, but I am very excited for this. Cuphead is a really, really cool property, and there's a lot of potential there. And Netflix has proven that they can pump out some seriously good content on their own, and this is kind of a no-brainer.
Oh yeah, I think it's a perfect move, especially with the two guys from Studio MDHR being executive producers on it, so they oversee everything. The style, just from the one image they showed, the style looks a little different from what you see in the game, so there's going to be small changes, I think, but hopefully the quality will be good, the story will be good, and everything. I'm super excited for it. I love Cuphead as a property now. It's definitely one of my favorite new IPs to come out within the last few years. It's just brilliant, and I really just can't wait to see what they make out of this.
Yeah, I personally never beat Cuphead. I didn't get too invested into the game, but I love everything about it. Like
Joel's bad at video games. You heard it here first.
Fake gamer boy.
I haven't invested enough time to really try and get through it. But like one of the only 3 pop figures I have is a Cuphead one, just because I love the art style of it and everything. I have a Cuphead vinyl that they were giving away at GameStop on Black Friday last year. So I got that, and I played that a few times. And a few times I've even just booted up the game just to check out the main menu. When you see Cuphead and Mugman like dancing there, and it says press A to start, and the music, it's just great all around. They really captured what they were going for very well.
Yeah, that it's just such a well put together game, and you just really hope that the who's the company, King Features Syndicate is who's making it. You just gotta really hope that they'll put as much love into it as Studio MDHR did the game.
I think that's the key there. This is such a painstakingly revised property at this point. I mean, the music that's put together for it, the art style, everything is made in such a specific, crafted way. It's going to be very difficult to convey that in a video format through a television show, so I'm really hoping they can pull it off. I will say though that King Features Syndicate is actually the group behind Popeye, so they've got quite a bit of history with kind of that old school cartoon look and feel. So looking at it, I think this is a partnership that could do very well for both parties.
All right, yeah, let's definitely wait and see. Hopefully we don't have to wait 7 years like we did the game, but regardless, very excited for that game, or that show. All right, moving on. More than 2 million Super Mario Maker 2 levels have now been uploaded. This is by Jeff Cork of Game Informer. Nintendo released Super Mario Maker 2 less than 2 weeks ago, and the sequel has already hit an impressive milestone. More than 2 million levels have been uploaded by the community. Nintendo of America tweeted the news, which just about says it all. This is from their tweet at Nintendo America, said, "Thanks to all of you. Hashtag Super Mario Maker 2 has reached 2 million courses uploaded. We hope everyone continues to create and share their dream courses." I guess we should have probably talked about this when me and Joel were talking about Super Mario Maker 2, but still, cool stuff. Game's popular. Definitely go buy it if you have a Switch and you haven't yet. I'll just hurry up and take the last one here as well. Amazon Game Studios is developing a Lord of the Rings MMORPG. This is by Matt Kim of IGN. Amazon Game Studios has announced it will be leading the development on a new The Lord of the Rings MMORPG. Amazon's Lord of the Rings MMORPG will be a free-to-play adventure set in Middle-earth as portrayed in the Lord of the Rings literary trilogy, meaning the MMO will be based on author J.R.R. Tolkien's original books rather than the Peter Jackson film trilogy. What do you guys think about this?
I'm not too into Lord of the Rings. I know that they did have Lord of the Rings Online before, which was an MMO, and I remember trying that on my PC, but I didn't get into it at all. I think I played for a few hours only. I don't know. This is something I probably will never play.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm really into Lord of the Rings. I love it. This game it's coming to both PC and consoles, so it's probably going to be something that I definitely give a try. In the past, there's been very few MMOs that I get into, but something like this already has my interest. Amazon just has they have to have a deal with they have to have a deal with whoever owns the Lord of the Rings license, right? Because they're making a show, aren't they?
I know somebody's making a show. I don't know who, though.
I think it's Amazon. But regardless, Oh, yep, here we go. This is Amazon's second high-profile Lord of the Rings project after the online retailer announced it was producing a new Lord of the Rings TV series for Amazon Prime. Amazon's Lord of the Rings TV series will be set during the Second Age, which takes place prior to the event of the Lord of the Rings movie trilogy. However, Amazon made it clear that the upcoming MMO and the TV show are unrelated and are being developed separately. So, I am just always down for more Lord of the Rings, and I am definitely going to give it a try whenever it comes out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of on the flip side of you. I don't really care for the Lord of the Rings IP that much, but I grew up on MMORPGs and just grinding way too much time into those. The market doesn't have a lot of great MMOs at the moment. A lot of it's pay to win. A lot of it's just money pits. It would be great to see Amazon kind of bring something out here that, salvages a little bit of face there and just gives us a good, solid gaming experience that doesn't go too hard. Obviously, we haven't seen much out of Amazon Game Studios at this point, so not much to go off of, but certainly potential, and there's certainly a gap in the market for it.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I think we're starting to run close to an hour. Oh, we already passed an hour. I think we should definitely make our jump to the topic of the show, which I might have forgotten to ask on social media today. So that's my bad, guys. But me and Joel did come up with one before we started recording. Our topic of the show this week will be focused on the games that have yet to come out in 2019. Of those games, which ones are we most excited for? Joel, you want to go first?
Yeah, I posted a link in there, GameInformer.com/2019. They just have a bunch of games listed. One of the ones that sticks out to me the most is, why am I drawing a blank right now? What is that Kojima game coming out this year?
Death Stranding.
Death Stranding, yeah. I personally, I think Kojima's a super weird dude. The only game I played is Metal Gear Solid 1, and that was 3 or 4 years ago. So I haven't played any of the newer stuff. I'm just so intrigued to see how this game does, because it feels like it's coming out too early.
Yeah.
I understand we've seen it at E3 and a bunch of stuff over the years, but it just seems like it was rushed. I don't know.
Yeah, that's the thing, before they announced that it was coming out this year, the general consensus was really that next year would have been the earliest we could have seen it.
Yeah.
And it just, hey, it's coming this year. So, yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I probably won't be picking that game up when it comes out unless I see something that really intrigues me, but as of right now, it's not something that's for me. I'm just curious to see how Twitter reacts and how YouTube reacts to the game, I guess. But other than that, I think Gears 5 is really the one I'm most looking forward to, coming in September 10th, which is right around the corner, 2 months from today.
Yeah, that's cool. Connor, what about you?
As a Star Wars mega fan, my heart wants me to say Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, as I am unbelievably excited for that game and can't wait for it to hit. but I think I'm going to have to go with the new Call of Duty. It might be kind of a basic answer and might be kind of run-of-the-mill, but...
basic.
This year's Call of Duty is doing some cool stuff, and less so the game. I'm more excited to see what impact it has on the industry, as this year's Call of Duty is completely and entirely cross-play. That's something I've been shouting from the
with a free season pass.
Years and years. With a free season pass, exactly. It's something that I've been talking about for a long time that just needs to happen, and we seem like we're edging closer and closer to it. We've just been waiting for the big games out there to really make it happen, so that it can kind of become the norm in the industry. And with Call of Duty taking those steps this year, that puts it at the top of my cannot wait list, and I'm super stoked for it.
Yeah, I'm all for it. Have they specified like how that's all going to work? Like, are you going to be able to select like, oh, I only want to play with Xbox people?
You gotta figure.
Yet. Yeah, you've got to have some kind of selection or something. You've got to be able to split that PC crowd as, keyboard and mouse versus controller. That's an age-old debate, but they haven't said anything specifically yet. I do know that on June 11th, though, which will be up by the time this podcast airs, they're going to be doing their first live gameplay of a new PvP game mode called Gunfight. It's
July
2v2,
11th, by the way.
So, July 11th. We might get a little more information out of that, so be on the lookout for that.
Cool. I didn't know that there was anything being shown off for it, but no, I'm intrigued. I was such a huge player when Modern Warfare originally came out. The first 3 games I put so much time into, and I've really fallen away from Call of Duty in the past 5 or so years. But definitely something I'll be giving a try. For me, man, there's a lot of good games coming out this year still. Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3, I already mentioned. Legend of Zelda, Link's Awakening. Come on, just give me more Legend of Zelda. I am always down for that. Super excited for Doom Eternal. Borderlands 3 will come. I'm not too excited for that, really, but I'll play it. New Pokemon. There's just a ton of good stuff coming out this year. I've got 2 games, though, that I am particularly looking forward to. The first one is Control, which comes out in August. Yeah, August 27th. This is made by Remedy, the guys that we talked about last week, who reacquired the rights to Alan Wake. They made Quantum Break. This is their first game in quite a while that's not on an Xbox well, it is on the Xbox platform, but it's multi-platform. I am very excited for this game. I am going into it as blind as possible. I know there was stuff shown off at E3, but I purposely have stayed away from it because I just want to be completely surprised when that game comes around. So stoked for that. But my other game that I am looking forward to the most is The Outer Worlds, which is the Obsidian game made with the creators of Fallout 2, I think. Fallout 1 and 2? I don't know.
Yeah, the original series, yeah.
Yeah, super excited. I love the comedy that they're putting into that. The world looks awesome. That game, I think, really has a chance to be Game of the Year for me. Just because just everything we've seen of it so far, it just looks so good. Yeah, those are definitely the ones I'm excited the most about.
All right, well, you heard it here first. I'm sure we're going to be talking about these games as they're coming out, too, as we're playing them. And
now we'll ignore them.
And I'm sure that there's going to be games that get added to this list that we didn't know were coming.
Gamescom is just around the corner.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe you'll find something fun. So with that, we conclude episode 67 of the Pixel Street Podcast. As always, email us at pixelstreetpodcast@gmail.com. Send us topics or pictures of your dogs and cats or fish or whatever. A fun fact. So here in downtown Chicago, in one of the parks here, Humboldt Park, there is currently an alligator that was found yesterday in this park.
That is a fun fact.
What is an alligator doing in downtown Chicago? And they have not caught it yet.
He's just chilling. He's trying to walk.
Someone was
just
alone. What's Robert Irwin's son? What's his name? Crap, I can't remember it. The new crocodile hunter, though. He was just taking him for a walk.
Oh, Steve Irwin's son, you mean?
Steve, Oh, is the kid Robert Irwin?
It might be.
Yeah, I think so.
The dad
I think
is
so.
Steve Irwin.
Okay. Yeah,
But yeah,
Robert
either-
Irwin. He was
either
taking
way,
him for a
like-
walk.
Like, it's like the funniest shit to me because people are like making shirts now saying like Crocodile Watch 2019, and then it's like a picture of the park drawn and the croc. I don't know. It's hilarious.
Well, you know, he's just visiting from Brooklyn. He's got some family. He's coming from the sewers. It's all good. Just pay no mind to it. He's walking there.
He just wanted to see the jelly bean.
All right. Either way, yeah. Tweet us pictures of your pet crocodiles. Check out our Facebook by searching Pixel Street Podcast. My name is Joel Campos. Find me on Twitter at Campos63, mixer.com/Campos63. John, where can we find you?
On Twitter, I am at Rivik Shadows. You can also look me up on YouTube, youtube.com/JohnJW92, or just search Rivik Shadows. I plan on getting all of us to start streaming some more, so definitely keep track of us on at Pixel Street Pod when we post when we'll be streaming.
Connor, what about you?
Yeah, I'm on Twitter at TheRealBirch. That's Birch with no I, like the tree, but again with no I. Also on Mixer as Birch, again with no I. No I in team, so there's no I in me.
But I'm in you.
I like that.
All right, on that creepy note, we conclude episode 67. See you
Somebody
next
call
week.
the cops.
I am the cops.
Somebody
Bye.
call the cops. We got
Bye.
a gator in the park.
Ah.